Hey guys, Punisher88 here, coming to you live from work as usual. But you already knew that. Well, it's Saturday. That means it's time for the weekend review. Today, I got a really special comic that I'm reviewing for you guys. It's one I've been wanting to review for a while now. I just never got around to reading it since I bought it. It's basically been on my stack, and with all the other stuff I've been reading, it's been going down and down and down. But yesterday, when I was getting ready to come to work, when I was trying to get an idea of what I wanted to review tonight, basically I saw this cover staring up at me, and I said, you know what? Today's the day that I'm finally going to read it and review it for you guys. The comic in question, The Amazing Spider-Man, issue 229. This is the first time I'm ever covering an actual Spider-Man comic on the weekend review, so I hope you guys like it. I'll get to the comic in just a bit, but first, how about a little intro music, shall we? Hey guys, welcome back. So, as I mentioned in my intro, today I'm covering The Amazing Spider-Man issue 229. Like I said, it's been a comic, that I've been wanting to review for a while and just never got around to doing it. This book, the cover alone is, I wouldn't say iconic, but it is a pretty famous cover. Um, and anytime I usually Google, top 10 comic book covers or famous this cover usually shows up more than at least once. And uh, yeah, it's awesome. A little bit about the book. I think I mentioned it in my intro. I'm not sure if I didn't. Well, this book came out in June of 1982. Um, the cover and interior artwork are done by the ever so talented John Romita Jr., as well as this is a part one of a two-part story arc. Um, to start the review, I'll start with how I start every week, with the cover. What do I like about the cover? Since it's a given that I love this cover. Um, I love the bright colors. I like the whole how Spider-Man's spider sense is tingling, that there's trouble coming. The sense of despair that there's been tragedy. I love it all. Um, and yes, if you guys are curious, this cover is on my top favorite comic book covers list. And no, I haven't forgotten. I will do that video down the road of my top 10 favorite covers. Just, I'm not sure when, but it will happen. Don't worry. So, the story itself uh, is is a good story. It's very comedic, and I'll get to that in just a bit. The story itself starts off with, well, it starts off with a Spider-Man character I don't really know much about. Maybe some of you guys out there do know about her, and it's her name's Madam Web. And the beginning of the story, we see she's having um, a nightmare where Spider-Man is being chased by this giant black figure. We we don't know who it is. It's just a black figure since it's in her nightmare. And so as soon as she wakes up, she gets in contact with Peter Parker, and she warns him of her nightmare, and she's all scared because she's worried that her nightmare might come true. And so hence she's warning Peter about it. And so Peter's standing there. He hangs up the phone, and he's all like, "Well, just looks like it's gonna be another one of those days." And after that, goes to a scene in New York Harbor, which is this big fancy yacht sitting there, and we find out that it's owned by a character named Black Tom Cassidy. I know he's a villain. Again, I don't know much about this character as well. Uh, Maybe you guys out there do. So he's a minor character in this story, at least in this issue. I'm assuming. And so and we see him talking about how he wants to capture Madam Web, and all of a sudden Juggernaut breaks through the wall of the boat, and Cassidy's all like asking the Juggernaut if he'll go get her for him, and the Juggernaut's like, yeah, I'll do it, and then Cassidy starts going off on him of, are you sure you'll be able to do it? If the X-Men get involved, you won't let them stop you like you've done before, stuff like that. And basically the Juggernaut gets a little pissed off and stops listening to him and just goes out on his own to go get Madam Web. And as soon as she gets a hint of it, she could sense the Juggernaut coming for her. So she told Spider-Man when she warned him that she's scared that her nightmare might come true. She warned him if anything else would happen, she would get in contact with him. She would call him. So we get to this scene where Peter Parker's at the Daily Bugle, and he's going to talk to Jameson about getting some freelance photography work, and he's warned that he shouldn't go see him because Jameson's all pissed off as usual, and so he's talking with what's the guy's name? Hold on. Oh boy, I keep forgetting this guy's name. Anyway, he calls him Robbie. Robbie's his first. I forget his last name. Anyway, so he's meeting with him. They're talking and everything, and then all of a sudden, um, Betty Brant shows up. And I know you guys know who Betty Brant is. So she shows up, and it's basically one of those, hey, how's everyone doing? Long time no see type of scenes. And all of a sudden, phone rings, and it's for Peter. And Madam Web's basically telling him where the Juggernaut's been spotted. So she tells him to go out right away. And so we find out he's Juggernaut's touched land near Battery Park. And so as Spider-Man's going over there, he's thinking to himself, he's like, what kind of villain am I going up against? And when he hears that it's near Battery Park, near water, right away he's like, could I be going against a Submariner? And he goes, if it is, I hope not, because that guy's really strong when he gets mad. So it's pretty funny hearing him talk to himself and everything. And then when he gets over like downtown New York and he sees all the destruction, he notices there's one building with a big hole in it, and Spider-Man's like, as strong and as mean-tempered the Submariner can get, I've never known him to actually put a hole in a building. He goes, that's not the Submariner. He goes, that's more like the work of the Incredible Hulk. And then all of a sudden, Spider-Man sees the Juggernaut, and I'm assuming this is the first time Spider-Man's ever actually encountered the Juggernaut, because when he sees him, he doesn't even call him by the Juggernaut. He doesn't even know his name. So, and so he tries sneaking up behind him to do the whole sneak attack thing, and basically just bounces off of him, which is pretty funny. And he's all like, "What the? How do you stop a guy that big?" And so then Spider-Man builds this big wall of web to try and slow him down. Juggernaut just breaks through it. Then, what is it? Spider-Man pulls up a manhole cover and tries to trap the Juggernaut in the sewer. So Juggernaut's all like, "Oh, are you gonna try and trap me in the hole?" And Spider-Man's basically like, "Well, that's the idea." And then all of a sudden, Juggernaut just breaks through the street, and Spider-Man's all like, "Oh man!" And there's one panel here I thought it was so funny. You see all the different ways Spider-Man's trying to stop him. He's grabbing his arms and pulling his legs and nothing. So then Spider-Man's like, "Well, until you tire out, I'm gonna stick to you." So then the Juggernaut just grabs Spider-Man close to him, and Spider-Man's all like, "What are you doing?" And the Juggernaut tells you, he goes, "Well, if you want to stick with me, hang on." And he basically walks through a building. And as he walks out, Spider-Man's not there anymore. You see him in a pile of rubble, and he's just like, "Ah!" It was funny. And all of a sudden, the phone starts ringing, and he's like, "Oh, let me guess, that's probably for me." And sure enough, Madam Web's calling him, and she asks him, she goes, "Does a word in connection with our foe, does Cyttorak mean anything to you?" And Spider-Man's like, "Cyttorak? Yeah, I've heard that before." And then after he mentions that, he tells Madam Web, he's all like, "This is no ordinary guy we're dealing with." She's there. You gotta get in con. He's like, "You gotta get in contact with the Avengers, get in contact with the Fantastic Four. Get as much police as you can because we're gonna need it." So Madam Web tries to get in contact with the Fantastic Four and the Avengers, and Spider-Man says that since he's heard the word Cyttorak before, he knows someone who could probably help him. And he goes looking for the help of Doctor Strange. But when he gets to Doctor Strange's place, we find out Doctor Strange isn't there. So Spider-Man's talking to Doctor Strange's assistant, and Spider-Man mentions to him if he's ever heard of Cyttorak, and Doctor Strange's assistant tells him that he's heard Mr. Strange say that before, and he goes, but if you really want some help on that, he suggests that Spider-Man go get the help of the X-Men, and we all know why, because Professor X is Kane Marco's half brother, so he would know quite a bit. And sure enough, right before he leaves, phone starts ringing, and Spider-Man at this point is like, "Don't worry, it's for me. I know it is." And he gets on the phone with Madam Web again, and she's like, "Good morning." Sorry about that, guys. The odd tenant or whatever is probably going to start walking through, so I got to try and wrap this up quick. So Madam Web calls Spider-Man, and when Spider-Man tells her that, you know, we got to get the help of the X-Men, and she tells him that she already tried and they're busy. So basically now she lets Spider-Man know that he's on his own. So Spider-Man goes down to downtown to find the Juggernaut, and we see all of New York's finest is there, and they're shooting at the Juggernaut and everything. The bullets are just bouncing off of them. There's no use. So Spider-Man's like, well, if I can't beat him physically, at least I know I could outrace him pretty much. He's faster than the Juggernaut. So Spider-Man gets to Madam Web's apartment first, and when he gets there, he sets up all these barriers to try and slow down the Juggernaut a little bit, try to buy him some time, and which doesn't work. And when Spider-Man gets to Madam Web's apartment, he kind of puts this web wall around her apartment door, and then we find out she has this big giant transformer machine, like a transistor thing that generates power in a closet. So he takes a wire from it and just hooks it to the web wall to try and basically charge the web. And so when the Juggernaut goes to break into the door, Spider-Man just throws this switch, and he like zaps the Juggernaut with like 1,000,000 volts of electricity. And at first, it works. The Juggernaut stops. He's stopped in his place, and then he just busts through the door. And Spider-Man at this point is going, "What the heck do I gotta do to stop this guy?" And basically, when he goes after him, the Juggernaut just swats him into a wall. And you see Madam Web, she's like freaking out. She's all like, "Oh, my nightmare's coming true," and everything, you know. And so then the Juggernaut goes and he grabs Madam Web, and she starts freaking out. And Juggernaut's all like, "Whoa, why are you freaking out for?" And Spider-Man's all like, "You big dumb idiot." He goes, "She's convulsing." He goes, "That chair you took her off of, that's a life support device. If you move her anymore, she'll die." And then the Juggernaut's like, "Die?" He goes, "I came all this way for nothing." And he just throws her down on the floor like a piece of meat and walks away. And when I mention her chair, it's because even though I don't know much about Madam Web, from the times that I have seen her in the comics, she's always sitting on this special chair that makes her look like a spider, hence the Madam Web. And so now I find out that's a life support machine because she's old and everything, you know, so she needs it to survive. And so that's why she's like convulsing and everything. So then after the Juggernaut just walks away, Spider-Man, he's all pissed off now, and he's giving her mouth to mouth to try and save her, or at least, excuse me, until paramedics arrive and everything, which they do. And you see they're talking with the police, and they're like, "Well, it's you know, give and go right now. It's hard to say if we could save her and everything. We gotta run to see what we can do." And then the cop goes to talk to Spider-Man, and Spider-Man pulls a Batman on him. What I mean by that is the cop turns around and he's like, "Hey, Spider-Man, where'd he go?" One of those moments. So, and you see Spider-Man swinging away, and he's all like, you know, "Oh my God, I couldn't save her from that. What is it? Uh, it was impossible to save her and everything." And he's like, "The same thing happened when Uncle Ben died, and I couldn't save Gwen and everything." So the last two panels are pretty cool. He's all like, "Well, I'm not gonna let Juggernaut get away with this." He's like, "I'm gonna find a way to stop that unstoppable human tank, or die trying." It's just a close up of his face, and it goes, "To be continued," and that's it. So that's why I don't know if I own issue 230, but if I do own it, I can't wait to read it, to read the conclusion of the story. And if I do have it, I will review it for you guys. If I don't have it, it's on my list now to try and find it. And I saw a cover of it, and I like that cover as well. Um, so that brings me to the end of the actual review. Or should I say synopsis. um, so for the actual review part, um, the good part of the book, uh, the cover, awesome. Writing, very cool. Like I said, it's very comedic with Spider-Man going back and forth trying to stop the Juggernaut. Um, Bad parts, or part, I think the only part that really was like meh with me was the whole part where he's at the Daily Bugle. That part I find was like so-so. It was like, it's like filler pretty much to me. So I mean, and it's not really bad. You know, I'm not saying, you know, oh, it shouldn't be in there or anything. You know, I don't mind it, but I was just like meh. So, but other than that, great book. Um, do I recommend this book after reading this? Oh yeah. If you guys can find this book, uh, pick it up. Uh, if you can't actually find the actual book, I'm sure if you look online, you could probably find a digital copy of it. Um, I wouldn't really know if you can, because like I mentioned in one of my other videos, I'm not really big on digital comics, so I wouldn't know. But if you can find the actual book, pick it up. Uh, Depending on the shop you get it at, it might be a little pricier depending, again, what shop you're at. Um, I picked this up at Comic Hunter. I paid $8 for it. It's a little pricey, I know, for a book, but I didn't mind. It's because I really love this cover and I've always wanted to read this story. So, and again, I'm assuming it was that price due to the fact that this might be the first time Spider-Man has actually encountered the Juggernaut. Again, I could be wrong. So, and yeah, if you can find it, pick it up, give it a read. It's really good. Plus, it also makes a nice addition to any comic book collection. So, yep. So, uh, that's the review. I hope you enjoyed it. Just a couple things. What do I want to say? Oh, well, I said in my last video, but I'll say it again. Um, this Tuesday, being November 11th, Remembrance Day, um, I'm doing a special review video of a book by Garth Ennis called War Stories, and just a little, memento to everything that happened and everything. So, so keep a lookout for that, as well as next Thursday, next Saturday, back to normal. Um, for Thursday's comic review, I'm gonna try and post on the Punisher 88 Facebook page some options for you guys to choose on. If I don't get a chance to get not Fallout, the Fade Out #3. So to the ones who are part of the Punisher 88 page on Facebook, if by probably Wednesday, if you do see a question up to vote on, then you'll know I don't have the Fade Out #3. If you don't see a question up, then probably I'll be doing a review of Fade Out #3. So keep a lookout for that as well. And yeah, that's about it. So if you guys stuck around for this whole video at 21 minutes and 23 seconds, I thank you guys. Big thumbs up on that. Uh, if you like this video, check out some of my other ones that I have. I do 2 videos every week. I do Thursday videos and Saturday videos. Thursdays are reviews of current comics. Saturday are reviews of back issues. Also, I do unboxing videos since I'm a subscriber to Loot Crate. So whenever those come in, I do an unboxing for you guys. That's my promise to my viewers, as well as I might every now and then post a random video of whatever piques my interest. So, look, if you're into that kind of stuff, check it out. Also, I know I keep mentioning it, but I have to. I want to thank you guys again. I know it only went up 1 view from last time, but still, it excites me when I see that. Um, I want to thank the viewers out there for making my chill video with the guys from Epic Mealtime still my most viewed YouTube video since I started posting on YouTube. Um, I just checked earlier; it's now at 98 views, and that's great. I mean, that's 2 off 100, so I really can't wait to see it break the 100 mark. So. Thanks again. If you guys want to check it out, go take a look at it. And yeah, that's about it. So the usual jazz, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And before I start rambling for nothing now, I'll see you guys on Tuesday and then Thursday and Saturday. All right. So I know this is the part where I usually leave you guys with a quote from a comic book. So let me just get to it here somewhere. Hold on. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Oh yeah, this one, since it's on the idea of Spider-Man, this one's from Black Cat. She goes, "Calm down, you get so uptight about your bodily fluids." When I read that, I thought that was funny. So, anyway, I'll see you guys next week, guys. Alright? Laters.